high contact. He plays every position, and he's been leading off for the Angels. David Fletcher, worthy of a pickup. Now, here's a guy that's going to play some and then not play, but when he plays, he's really good, and that's Howie Kendrick. Again, first base, second base, third base, outfield eligible for the Nats. Probably a better reality player than fantasy player, and he's 35 years old. But he's currently hitting .324. He's got 9 home runs. His career total best is 18, so he's halfway there. And in what has been a dreary offensive production season so far for the Nats, he's been the bright spot. Okay? Now, I don't know about his power continuing. Let's see what you think. Let's see what happens. But he's had a good average. He puts up good run production. He scores runs. He drives them in. And he's multi-positional eligible. I'm liking me some Howie Kendrick if I need a bench player in my league. Did you hear Yandy Diaz was activated yesterday for Tampa? Now, prior to going on the IL, he had cooled off from his hot start to the injury. He's hitting .252. He's had 9 homers and 48 runs plus RBIs in 42 games. Probably for my taste, he hits too many ground balls still to take full advantage of his power, but he's a strong kid. He's going to hit in the upper half of the Rays lineup and produce production. He's also first base, third base eligible. A kid I really like, I know he's one of Lenny's boys. I've heard Lenny talk about him a lot, Scott Kingery. You know, he's now going to be, looks like the regular center fielder. He's third base, shortstop, outfield eligible. He has really benefited from the struggles of Maikel Franco and Odubel Herrera. He's hitting .329 with 3 homers, 2 steals, and just 84 plate appearances. I'm looking for a lot of production out of Kingery. So, how about a pitcher? A pitcher that, I wonder how many teams drafted Lucas Giolito. Going into the season, how many teams drafted Lucas Giolito? What was it, 3 years ago? He was the top pitching prospect in all of baseball. Remember? Red Sox, great. Traded to the Nats, traded to the White Sox. Last year couldn't get me out. Maybe he could have got Lenny. Chappie, a possibility. Donkey maybe, I don't know. But this year he's getting everybody out. Okay, he's thrown a shutout already this year. He won his 6th straight start on Sunday. He threw 7 1/3 shutout innings, a 2-0 victory over the Indians. In his last 6 starts, he's allowed just 5 total runs. On Sunday, he scattered 5 hits. He walked no one. He struck out 9. He's now 8-1 with a .254 ERA, 78 strikeouts in 67 innings. I think he's a must-own. I think if he's not owned, you get him. And here you go. You talk about trading high. Could you trade Dansby Swanson? Could you for Lucas Giolito? Could you? Donkey says he picked up Fletcher and Listel in draft and hold. So far, so good. I love those 2 pickups, Donkey. Love them. Phil Chappie says he's booing Chris Bryant. Wow. So, think about those players, okay? Again, I'm not saying you got to have them, but I am saying they are worthy of consideration if you have a need on your team. And now, as we go to our final segment of the day, let's look at the games that are going to be played this week. Because, it's not only important the players that you have, it's important who they are playing against. For example, if you had Philly batters this past weekend, great hitting team, right? But they were playing the Dodgers. And I think they went something like 15 for 95. Okay? So you could have had the greatest Philly hitters playing the Dodgers. You're not going to hit. Let's look at some teams who play in some pitching not so tough lineups this week. Let's talk about Baltimore. Let's talk about Texas. Because they're playing each other in Texas 3 games, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you have Orioles on your free agency, if you have Texas Rangers that are available, you may want to grab some of those guys. 3 games in Texas. What a hitting park that is. Cha-Cha says, what do you think of Garrett Cooper? I added him, Cha-Cha. I added him in my league because two reasons. I watched him play yesterday and this weekend. He looks really good. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks comfortable at the plate. He hits with power. Love that. And secondly, Craig Mish says he's the real deal and he's on fire. And if you look at, let me pause and talk about Cooper just a moment before I talk about these games, because I think he is a really good player to add and a sneaky add. Okay? And if you look at his last few games, which is what I often do, okay, I know he's only hitting 256 on the season, but I think it's important that you note over his last 6 games, okay, he has gone 22 at bats with 8 hits. Okay, so here you go. I'm doing this on the fly, but we're going to do it. That means he's hitting at a 364 clip over his last 6 games with 2 home runs and with 6 RBIs. Okay, he hit his 4th home run of the year yesterday off Matt Strahm, a left-hander. And remember, Cooper is a left-handed bat. He got another run in the 5th after being hit by a pitch. Cooper has now hit safely in these 4 straight games. And let me give you this news. How he started the year. Okay? All right. He started the year 0 for 14. He spent time on the injured list. He's now finding his stroke. He raised his average some 30 points over the weekend. So, Cha-Cha, to answer your question, I'm all about adding me some Cooper. Okay? So, then there's a question, who is picking up Lance Lynn? Not on any day ending in Y. Okay, not on any day ending in Y. Don Quixote says buying Anibal Sanchez. Let's see. And I love you guys giving me this input. I'm looking in the chat room, so if you have questions, we only got about 8 minutes. Throw it at me. I can always stop what I've got prepared and we can talk, okay? I love talking about what you want to talk about. So if you have players you want to talk about, shoot them to me. But Orioles and Rangers, okay? Also, Red Sox, they're at Kansas City for 3 games. Now, later in the week, they play Tampa Bay. So, whereas you might see a Michael Chavez hit well, okay, in his games at Kansas City, he may not hit so well against Tampa Bay. But I do like the Orioles. I do like Rangers early in the week. Okay, other teams that I like this week. What about Houston later in the week? Houston later in the week plays Baltimore at home, and they're at Seattle for 4 before that. I really like Straw this week, guys, for Houston. And if they call up those rookies, which I think can happen this weekend, look out for those Houston Astros. Okay? And then I also want to look at Oakland A's. And I know they just had a tough week, and particularly one guy, I want you to look at Matt Olson. The A's play at Anaheim for 3 right-handers, okay? Then they play in Texas, a single game on Friday, a doubleheader on Saturday, and a single game on Sunday. So I like Matt Olson. I like the A's bats this week. I know they just lost 5 in a row, but Oakland is going to be a streaky hitting team this year, and keep your eye on Matt Olson as we go through this week. Okay? All right. So it's been a great Monday morning. I'm done. This is it. I'm telling you. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I want to thank everybody. Malpal in the chat room. Cha-Cha. Don Quixote. Of course, my good friend Phil Chappie, my partner in crime at times. All of you guys that have been part of the show today, I just really appreciate your feedback, your questions. I'll be back with you again on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, tomorrow evening at 6, and tomorrow night at 9, it's Chappie and I on the network. So I want you to be ready for that. From the schedule, it looks like DFS Hangover is coming on at 11, and so be ready for that. Support your podcasters when you can. I know you can't listen to the shows all the time, but when you're available, listen to them, support them, get in the chat room, talk it up. This network is your fantasy sports baseball network. Okay, we're going to continue on with a great product. I'm in communication with Lenny quite a bit. He's got a great mind, a great plan. So just continue, and we thank you for supporting us. Go out and watch some baseball today, guys. And for Monday, this is Arnie on Fantasy World of Sports.